about to listen to the Dr. Daliah Show. Sassy, stimulating medical talk radio. Any medical advice Dr. Daliah Wax gives on her show should not be substituted for an actual visit to your medical provider. And now, here's Dr. Daliah.
We are back on the Dr. Daliah Show. Thank you all for tuning in. 1-877-Dr. 1-877-DOC-DALI. So after that Chinese student and her boyfriend were arrested for allegedly studying and bringing in bioweaponized fungi and allegedly studying it at one of our universities in America, there's been a lot of questions on what are students doing from overseas, how are they not being supervised, and how do we prevent another country from using students to spy, prompting Trump's, decision to halt international students from coming in. Well, we'll talk about that in a second, but we do have some breaking news. Apparently, if you haven't seen the stock market, it's kind of gone up, jumped a little bit because Trump has made a deal with China. From what we understand, President Trump said that the deal with China is done. Beijing is going to supply magnets and rare earth minerals, while the U.S. will allow Chinese students in its colleges and universities. They are going to get a total of 55% tariffs. China is getting 10%. Relationship is excellent. Now, I still don't want to pay more tariffs than another country, but a White House official said the agreement allows the U.S. to actually charge a 55% tariff on imported Chinese goods, which includes a 10% baseline reciprocal tariff, a 20% tariff for fentanyl trafficking, and a 25% tariff reflecting pre-existing tariffs, according to Reuters. China will instead charge less. They'll charge a 10% tariff on U.S. imports. Now that is something that Trump said he would fight for, where we would be paying less tariffs than anyone else. And so if they're paying 55 and we're paying 10, okay, superficially, that looks great to me. Full magnets and any necessary rare earths will be supplied up front by China. Likewise, they said we will provide to China what was agreed to, including Chinese students using our colleges and universities, which Trump says in parentheses, which has always been good with me. So I know some people are panicking about that, but so here's the thing. Okay. International students have been the crux of many of our universities and programs, and it has been huge for our students to be able to go to other countries. When we do have international students coming in, they are supposed to be vetted. They aren't supposed to be saying anti-Semitic rhetoric. They aren't supposed to be interfering with people being able to go to class and hijacking a library. They are not supposed to be using the university for personal gain or for their country's gain. And we have for decades shared nice reciprocal agreements with international students studying here, other students studying abroad. It's very advantageous for a student to learn another culture, travel when they're a student. I think studying abroad is very valuable. If we don't do our jobs as Americans and ensuring that the students are vetted properly and ensuring that there's no shenanigans, that's on us. Having international students is not bad. It's a good thing. However, it can be bad if, one, the high percentage of students are preventing Americans from accessing our own schools, or B, they are being brought here as a spy or as a extension of the CCP or another government. So we can manage this. Because, I'm hearing from people going, oh, man, international students can come back. I don't mind international students. I mean, I'm a first-generation American on my dad's side. So, we are a country that welcomes and works with other countries. That's what we do. But if we aren't vetting these students and they are organizing and participating in anti-Semitic rhetoric, and they're, as I said, preventing other students from going to school, if they have criminal past, if they are bringing in bioweapons, oh, hell no. So we don't have to ban all students, but we do need to do a better job from the State Department, from the University Department, to keep an eye on them. Now, I've worked in many laboratories as a student at the EPA, and there is a way to oversee the work. Now, many people don't. They don't sit and watch you in the lab. It's not like there's security everywhere unless you're working on something that is highly classified. They don't necessarily have cameras. I think they can. They can bring in cameras if there is a trust issue. But labs and using our equipment, when you do use a piece of equipment, that could be very highly sensitive. You have to check it out. You have to sign that you're using it. You have to make a reservation for that equipment. And so there can be some documentation. There can be some checks and balances if that needs to be done. Now, I am concerned. That was a real big mess up, knowing that we could have students that had bioweapon access. That is very concerning. The protests and the anti-Semitism on campus is extremely concerning. But I think colleges do have the ability to ensure that they with all the money they're making, assuming faculty will actually start coming back to class. Many faculty are still working from home. But you could get the faculty back. You could get the faculty to have a desk in the lab, watch, oversee. There's things you could do to keep an eye on the students. There should be cameras. There should be ways to ensure that we are not, allowing other countries to do ominous things on our property. 1-877-DOC-DALIAH. Don't go away.
This is an urgent announcement for anyone that's $10,000 or more in debt. Before you make another minimum payment, you need to know there are special programs that can completely free you of your debt. Total Financial Freedom can help you become debt-free in months instead of years. Resolve your credit card debt, signature loans, department store cards, internet loans, and timeshares. Call Total Financial Freedom now at 800-878-6020 for a free consultation. For 16 years, Total Financial Freedom has helped thousands get out of debt. You can feel confident when calling because Total Financial Freedom is A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau. Battling for years and years stuck in the endless cycle of minimum payments could take decades. You have the right to get your debt resolved and substantially reduce your monthly payments. Call Total Financial Freedom now at 800-878-6020. That's 800-878-6020. 800-878-6020.
Let's face it, guys, we're living in times where the truth is becoming more suppressed and censorship is increasing at an alarming rate, especially on social media platforms. It's Clyde, and I want to tell you about a safe and secure digital playground we put together just for you. It's Aftermath.media. You get access to thousands of Ground Zero archives and podcasts, along with our private social media groups with your basic membership starting at only $7 a month. Each subscription includes tech support, access to the RSS feeds, along with our own chat room and Telegram channel. In addition, the premium membership includes research study groups, webinars, a document and movie library, a live video stream of Ground Zero, a monthly Zoom chat with me, and other bonus content. Be sure to check out our yearly specials as well. Sign up today while you're thinking about it. Sign up at Aftermath.media. Again, that's Aftermath.media.
back on the Dr. Daliah Show. Thank you all for tuning in. 1-877-DOC-DALI, 1-877-DOC-DALI, the co-founder of the Beach Boys and creative force behind that group Surf Sound, Brian Wilson, has died. The orchestral arrangements, the perfect harmonies, one of my favorite bands of all time, Brian Wilson, was 82. His family wrote on Instagram, "We are heartbroken to announce that our beloved father, Brian Wilson, has passed away. We are at a loss for words right now. Please respect our privacy at this time as our family is grieving. We realize that we are sharing our grief with the world." The Beach Boys and, just so much history. And when I have kids who are Gen Z loving the Beach Boys songs, and I'm loving songs that my parents dance to, it's incredible when you have such a multi-generational love of a sound. I think he installed from what let me see, where did I hear? The CNN says that in 1961 he wrote his first original melody, which was Surfer Girl, and then he and cousin Mike Love wrote Surfin'. I think that was the one that was and then was that the Surfin' USA, or was that a different Surfin' song? Their debut album was Surfin' Safari, and I think he installed a giant beach sandbox under his piano for inspiration. So pretty cool. This is, and having been born in California, I just always heard Beach Boys in the background, even though these songs came out years before I was born. And so, when I hear the Beach Boys, I smile. I just do. Amazing sound, amazing harmonies, amazing beats. So definitely a huge loss. At this time, as we said, we don't know much about what happened, but we'll keep you posted. 1-877-DOC-DALI, 1-877-DOC-DALI. There's a new viral challenge. These challenges are stupid. Remember the eating Tide Pods, detergent pods, and the condom challenge. And I mean, there's been so many stupid challenges. Well, now police are warning teens and parents of the latest one. It's where they kick open somebody's front door and run away. Now, I hope they are not doing it at houses where, somebody might shoot them, thinking that somebody is coming in to shoot. You come onto somebody's property and then you break and enter, somebody could get shot. According to NBC 10 Philadelphia, police in Montgomery County are warning teens that a viral TikTok trend where they kick someone's front door is not only dangerous but illegal. In Conshohocken, a woman caught the supposed prank in action on a Ring camera, shared it with NBC 10. The video shows a group of teenagers running up, kicking her front door, causing some damage. Why this is something viral that people want to watch and film is beyond me, but some kids are stupid. Lansdale Police Chief Michael Trail said his department has identified the teens involved and says parents have an obligation to monitor and set parameters for their kids. Understand there's a lot of safety parameters that you can institute on TikTok and other social media. You could family pair. You could tell kids you could tell what your kids are looking at. And so this latest TikTok challenge is not the first one. There's been others. There was the Chromebook challenge, which would set fires in classrooms in some cases. I don't know much about the Chromebook challenge. There's been some real stupid things that kids have done. And the condom challenge, I think there were two of them. With one, you saw a girl stick a condom up her nose and then pull it out of her mouth. And then another one is filling up the condom and then dropping it on their head, filling up a condom of water Ridiculous. During COVID, there were a lot of challenges. There was a Benadryl challenge where somebody was hospitalized and later died because they consumed multiple tablets of diphenhydramine. Not sure why this was the Benadryl challenge, what that was supposed to be doing, but apparently it was a TikTok challenge of people consuming multiple pills to produce a high or trip. Sadly, these kids were putting themselves at risk for hallucinations, heart attacks, and seizures. The coronavirus challenge happened during COVID, where people would lick objects like toilets and toilet seats and videotape themselves. At the time, Ava Louise was interviewed by Dr. Phil, said she bleached the seat first before she did her TikTok lick. Really? The vacuum trash bag challenge. I saw a video of a parent doing this to their child. That parent needs Child Protective Services coming to the house. The child climbed into a garbage bag. A friend or parent sucked the air out of the plastic bag until the inmate of that bag topples over. Well, now they could asphyxiate. What are you doing? Not to mention if they're falling over because they can't see because they're in a black garbage bag, they could fracture themselves, have respiratory failure, stroke, death. Ridiculous. Sucking out the air. These are some of the stupid things. There was the Shell On Challenge, where people years ago would make Snapchat videos of eating through cardboard boxes, plastic bags, and fruit skin to get to their food. The boiling water challenge was ridiculous. That's where kids would drink boiling water from a straw or have it poured all over their body. But that wasn't that was stupid, but even more dangerous was the fire challenge. There was a fire challenge where I saw videos of people rubbing alcohol on their body, setting themselves on fire, and then somebody video records them running into a tub or shower to wash it off. A 12-year-old girl from Detroit participated in that challenge, and at the time of the news story, she was undergoing multiple surgeries for burns that affected 50% of her body. I don't understand. Choking challenge, kids try to suffocate themselves. The cinnamon challenge was one of the first reported where these kids would inhale a common kitchen spice, or the common kitchen spice, the cinnamon, and then they would cough till they puked. Listen, people want to become famous, but they're getting more and more deadly, more and more dangerous. The standing on top of a car while it's driving. Didn't somebody who was graduating earlier this year die because they were standing on top of a car and then fell off and then suffered severe head trauma? So this idea of the kicking in challenge, you could get shot. We really need to make kids aware that if you go to another person's house, you could be shot. We train kids with trick-or-treating to run up and down people's lawns, knock on their door, do ding-dong ditch. But remember, there were these kids coming home after a party. They made a wrong turn, drove onto somebody else's driveway, and then they got shot at because the person in the house thought it was a gang coming in to rob or attack them. We live in a society where people don't trust somebody coming onto their property, and understandably so. I mean, look at the looters. Look at some of the most. Look at the Idaho college student murders. I mean, there have been some horrific, horrible, tragic things happen. Look at the October 7th attack in Israel. People storming people's houses and apartments and kibbutz to grab you. So, yeah, people are going to be inclined to think that your intentions are not admirable or just for some TikTok cred. And if you're kicking open a door, of course the person on the other side is going to think that you're there to cause harm. This is extremely dangerous. And maybe these kids know it's dangerous, but they want to get their video out there. We're right now dealing with two people who got shot near the Bellagio hotel. They were influencers who were videotaping. And from what I understand, they kind of got into a beef with somebody online. And that person finds them and then shoots them while they're live streaming. It's a dangerous world we live in. Make sure your kids don't do stupid. 1-877-DOC-DALIAH.
At Hot Shot Secret, we share the science behind common diesel problems and their solutions. For example,
Diesel fuel cetane levels.
in many states, the cetane rating in diesel fuel is 42 to 45. Most diesel engines operate more efficiently with a cetane rating of 48 to 50. One treatment of Hot Shot Secret Diesel Extreme will raise your cetane 7 points, increase fuel economy, and improve cold starts. Due to a cleaner burn, there are less hydrocarbons and particulate matter in your exhaust. This reduces the blockage of your diesel particulate filter. Using Diesel Extreme generates 83% less DPF regeneration. The 6-in-1 Diesel Extreme formula also includes the most concentrated detergent on the market, lubricity enhancer, water demulsifier, rust and corrosion inhibitors, and a fuel stabilizer.
Hot Shot Secret Diesel Extreme is available nationwide at truck stops, fine farm and auto stores, and online at hotshotsecret.com. Hot Shot Secret.
Powered by science.
We are back on the Dr. Daliah Show. Thank you all for tuning in. 1-877-DOC-DALI, 1-877-DOC-DALI. So I've been getting these ridiculous texts saying I owe money or I have an outstanding traffic ticket. And if I don't pay my toll booth fees, I live in Las Vegas, Nevada. I posted that, weeks ago going, excuse me, there's no tolls in Southern Nevada. I don't think there's any tolls in Northern Nevada. So I'm not sure what the hell they want me to pay for. This was the latest scam. I got this from Nevada Department of Motor Vehicles. I think everybody did. It says final notice. Enforcement penalties begin on June 10th. And I got this on June 9th. They say our records show that as of today, you have an outstanding traffic ticket. Now, right there, I knew it was fake because they only said I had one. Okay, if they really knew what they were doing, they have to understand, I just don't have a single isolated traffic ticket. They obviously don't know who they're texting. In accordance with Nevada State Administrative Code 15C 16.003, you see what they do to make it look all official. If you do not complete payment by June 9th, we will take the following actions. One, they're going to report me to the DMV violation database. Well, aren't you already in? Trust me, knowing me, I'm in a lot of databases. So that doesn't scare me. Two, suspend my vehicle registration starting June 10th. 3, suspend driving privileges for 30 days. Transfer to a toll booth and charge a 35% service fee. You're going to transfer me to is that a job? What are you going to transfer to a toll booth? And then I may be prosecuted and my credit score will be affected. So they say pay now. And the website is Nevada nevdmv.mhex.vip/pay. Please pay immediately before enforcement to avoid license suspension and further legal blah, 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 blah. I mean, I get these scams now almost every week. So I post them so you all are aware, because when you get the text, I don't want you clicking the link. So I let you all know it's another scam. And then the police will come out and say, oh, yeah, there's a scam. And I think also what was a big giveaway is it came from a country code 63. Let me see. What country code is that? Hold on a second. Yeah. Oh, people are already looking up country code 63. Oh, the Philippines. And so, I didn't know that the Nevada DMV outsources, right, their money collection to the Philippines. But, this isn't the first time, I've been, accosted by these. And there was, remember, it was like a month or two ago, a cop left a message. I just let it go to voicemail, an alleged cop, sheriff's department. I let my husband look a little deeper into it because I thought it was a scam. He calls me back going, "Oh, no, this is serious. You missed a court hearing. You were supposed to be an expert witness. They are upset. This is serious. You need to call them." And I go, "What?" So I call and go, "What the hell is going on?" And they said I missed a court hearing for a child rape case that I was supposed to be an expert witness on. And I'm like, "What?" Usually they give me the records and they ask me what, you don't just show up to, usually the counsel is what? And they said I had to pay. I had 2 warrants out. And when you added them both up, they equaled $10,000. And I go, "Okay, let me just show you this isn't me. Let me come down to the sheriff's department." They go, "But you have to pay first." And I hung up. It was ridiculous. I also get these people calling up saying your DEA is being used by somebody else and you need to address this or you're going to jail. These calls, they try to scare you. If you don't understand the law and if you don't understand everything there is to know about your particular license and how things work, you could become a victim. The other thing, too, is this whole concept of people using ChatGPT or AI. Simone Biles wrote a apology to Riley Gaines that people are saying was written by ChatGPT because it was very kind of legally protecting, and it didn't sound like something that she would necessarily say. I couldn't write that eloquently. Understanding legal ramifications, and making it balanced. And so we have this world right now that we almost can't trust our textings. We can't trust our messaging. If somebody gives me an email, I used to read it, go, "Okay, well, that was in their language." Now, every time I write an email, my email is asking me if I want to use, let me pull this up. This is crazy. Okay, so if I try to compose an email, draft with Copilot. I don't want Copilot to draft my email. I like things in my own words with my own grammatic inconsistencies and my dangling participles. That's how I write, and that's not the world we live in right now. And so we are being communicated to by robots or chatbots. We are being communicated to by AI, even if there's a human somewhere in the vicinity. And this is kind of freaky. Another thing that I'm really blown away by, although I'm trying to train myself on how to identify it's AI, are these pictures online where it looks amazing. It looks like the most vivid photography. And then, somebody says that's AI. You could tell it's AI. Look at the blurring in the corner. Look at the colors. Look at the, and we are now able to manipulate anything. You could take an old picture from the 1920s and animate it, make it move. And people worry whether it's deep fake technology or something else. You could make a video that makes it look like there's an actor or somebody and somebody could say, "Well, that deep fake video with Tom Cruise, you could tell it wasn't him because he looked a little different." But actors look different in real life. Everybody who takes a video of themselves at home without their makeup on looks different. The problem is people believe this BS. And that's frightening. So you're a professional. Somebody could deep fake me giving wrong medical advice. People hack our social media accounts. That's old school, where they hack your social media accounts and then they go online and you go and you accost people and hit on them. And then you have to say, "Guys, I was hacked. That's your alibi. Look, I was hacked. Whoever is doing this, stop it." You report them, but identity theft, fake discourse, people using AI to do the discourse for them. Nobody's going to trust what comes out of anybody's mouth or email or text anymore. And I can't stand the fact that now when I get a text, I just don't look at it because I expect it to be fake. When I get a phone call, I expect it to be spam or a scam. Every now and then I'll look at my phone and go, oh, my son texted me, because I refuse to look at it because it is going bzz, bzz, bzz all day long with fake texts. And you could report and block, but then I get another one 30 minutes later. So what I would do if I were you is, if you are at risk of being scammed, contact the Nevada DMV and go, or your local DMV and go, look, if I did have an outstanding ticket, okay, one, can you check so I could pay it? Or two, how do you usually notify us if that's the case? And people believe this because, see, in the olden days, if you had outstanding tickets, the cop would arrest you. Cops aren't necessarily, we don't have enough of them. So people think, oh, okay, so digitally I'm going to get a message and you're going to get screwed. If anybody reaches out to you about a mortgage, go to the bank itself. Just don't do it online. 1-877-DOC-DALIAH. Don't go away.
Carl Amari here to tell you about our newest website for old-time radio lovers. It's 100radioshows.com. At this site, there are 5 old-time radio shows waiting for you to download free as our gift to you, and be sure to browse the additional 700 old-time radio shows available to you for 70% off by using the promo code RADIO at checkout. This is a limited-time offer, so log on to 100radioshows.com. That's 100radioshows.com.
Have you ever thought you'd like to buy and sell houses but didn't know how or where to get the money? My name is Ron LeGrand, and over the past 40 years, I've bought over 3,000 houses without using my money or credit, and taught thousands to do the same. Today, even in a virtual environment, we buy nice houses in nice neighborhoods using no banks, realtors, contractors, or other costly entanglements, and build huge cash flow and wealth without the hassle of tenants, all without credit and little or no money. You don't need a license or experience, and I'll show you exactly how it's done. Text FREE to 99799, and I'll send you my free training. I promise you I'll change the way you think about real estate and open the door to a new lifestyle that doesn't involve risk or rehabs and can quickly replace your current income. Text FREE to 99799, and let me show you how to take your life back and build cash flow and wealth from your home. That's FREE to 99799. Again, FREE to 99799.
As an organ donor, your story doesn't have to end. The good in you can live on. In fact, you could save up to 8 lives and restore sight and health for many more. Sign up right now online as an organ, eye, and tissue donor. You'll be happy you did, and just maybe someone else will be happy too. Go to organdonor.gov. It saves lives. U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Health Resources and Services Administration.
All right, we are back on the Dr. Daliah Show, 1-877-DOC-DALIAH, 1-877-DOC-DALI. So meningitis, not very common, but it happens, and it is serious, causing inflammation of the brain and spinal cord. Among those who contract meningitis, 1 in 10 will die, despite appropriate treatment, sometimes within 24 hours. Many parents may not know the different types of vaccines that we have now available that we could give to younger individuals, we give to college-age students, and these are so important. There are 5 vaccine preventable serogroups of meningitis, A, B, C, W, and Y. While many teens may have received meningitis vaccination when they were younger, they still could be missing vaccination for meningitis B or some of the types of meningitis or pathogens that could affect them when they're older. The bacteria that causes meningitis can spread easily through everyday teen behaviors like sharing drinks, utensils, kissing, living in dorms, close quarters. So now is a good time for parents to start discussing vaccination now that we're summertime, and to discuss with your child's physician what the best course of action and prevention should be. Now, GlaxoSmithKline Ask to Be Sure campaign raises awareness of meningococcal disease, known as meningitis. And their personal stories of Patsy, a mother of a meningitis survivor, and Dr. April Barnes, pediatrician, is helping inspire this movie, Pretty Hurts, a new Lifetime original movie. And GlaxoSmithKline provided financial and content support for as part of this Ask to Be Sure public health initiative. So I'm very, very excited to introduce Dr. April Barnes, a general pediatrician with a heart for serving children and families. For the past 8 years, Dr. Barnes has been a pediatrician for Cooperative Health, one of the largest federally qualified health centers in South Carolina. At Brooklyn Community Pediatrics, a cooperative health site located in West Columbia, she has cared for children and young adults who often attend the same schools she did growing up. Her organization chose her to lead as Pediatric Division Director in 2021. She continues to see children in the clinic and hospital and develops and leads initiatives to enhance children's health in the region. For her work, Dr. Barnes was selected as one of Lexington County's top 20 under 40 in 2023. As well as Patsy, a dedicated advocate and speaker committed to raising awareness about meningitis and the importance of vaccination. Her passion for meningitis prevention was shaped by personal experience when her daughter Jamie survived a life-threatening case of meningococcal disease, resulting in severe complications, tragically including amputations. Through her advocacy, public speaking, and collaboration with health organizations, Patsy continues to educate and inspire, aim to raise awareness about this vaccine-preventable disease. So, Dr. Barnes, Patsy, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for having me.
Dr. Barnes, let's start with you. Could you explain what meningitis is and how serious it can be?
So I'm excited today to be here on behalf of GSK. And meningococcal disease is an uncommon but serious illness that can lead to long-term complications and even death, even with the proper medication, sometimes within 24 hours. 1 in 10 of the people that contract meningitis will die, and 1 in 5 of the survivors will have long-term complications, such as limb amputation, hearing loss, or brain damage. There are 5 serogroups of meningococcal disease, A, B, C, W, and Y, and some teens and young adults have been vaccinated against A, C, W, and Y, but potentially not against meningitis B. And so we're here to empower parents to ask to be sure the questions that they need to know to make sure that their teen has been vaccinated against all 5 groups.
Dr. Barnes, why are teens 16 to 23 years of age at this increased risk for meningitis?
So they're at an increased risk because of common behaviors that they're having at this age. And so kissing, sharing drinks, utensils, and living in close quarters like military barracks or college campuses, all of those things can put them at an increased risk.
Patsy, could you please share your experience with meningitis?
Well, first of all, thanks for having me. But I became involved with the GSK Ask to Be Sure campaign when my daughter Jamie survived a devastating battle with meningococcal meningitis. My daughter Jamie was a second-year student at her dream college and just living the life when within less than 24 hours, she got extremely ill, rushed to the hospital where she remained in the hospital for 7 months. During that time, she had both legs below the knee amputated, as well as all of her fingers. But I do remember the time when the doctor came to me and told me that she had meningitis, and I was not pretty aware of what that was, but I knew my daughter was battling for her life. And so it has led me to this point, becoming an advocate for meningitis awareness.
Dr. Barnes, what questions should parents be asking their doctor right now about prevention?
So parents should be asking their teen's doctor what meningitis vaccinations their teen has already had. They should ask if there are any other vaccinations that they are eligible for. And they should also ask what is the follow-up schedule of those vaccinations to make sure that they complete those series.
Patsy, what can you tell us about the Lifetime original movie Pretty Hurts film brought to you by GlaxoSmithKline? Very cool.
Pretty Hurts is the Lifetime original movie brought to you by GSK. It's a movie that was inspired and honored families that have gone through meningitis disease. It's going to be on June 28th on the Lifetime Network at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. It's a pretty devastating story. As the mother of a daughter who did survive, I can tell you that there's parts in there that were really brought back some memories to me. So I do hope that everybody does tune in to watch it. Again, Lifetime, 8 p.m. on June 28th. But we'll walk away with a lot of questions and opportunities for them to discuss this with their teen doctor.
Dr. Barnes, thank you so much for coming on. You and Patsy, we really appreciate it. Where can we learn more information?
They can go to ask, ASK, the number 2, the letter B, sure, SURE.com, and that will give them more information.
We are so grateful you came on. You know, as you know, meningitis is so important to talk about. There's globally, 2.5 million cases each year. And what you are doing is saving lives. And so we are so grateful you both were able to come on. We can't wait to have you back. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
1-877-Doc-Daliah. Don't go away. Dr. Daliah here. Are you tired, burned out, gaining weight, succumbing to the daily pressures of life? Well, how's your dopamine doing? How you feel right now, how you'll feel an hour from now, and how you'll feel next week is completely reliant on your dopamine. Our daily motivation and willingness to push through challenges depends on the intricate chemical process dopamine provides. Christian Kalikas and I created Deploying Dopamine, a book that tells you what dopamine is, when it dysfunctions, and how to successfully deploy it when needed. Find Deploying Dopamine on Amazon today. Check it out.
Lisa Wolf here to tell you about our newest website for old-time radio lovers. It's 100radioshows.com. At this site, there are 5 old-time radio shows waiting for you to download free as our gift to you. And be sure to browse the additional 700 old-time radio shows available to you for 70% off by using the promo code RADIO at checkout. This is a limited-time offer, so log on to 100radioshows.com. That's 100radioshows.com.
Have you ever thought you'd like to buy and sell houses but didn't know how or where to get the money? My name is Ron LeGrand, and over the past 40 years, I've bought over 3,000 houses without using my money or credit and taught thousands to do the same. Today, even in a virtual environment, we buy nice houses in nice neighborhoods using no banks, realtors, contractors, or other costly entanglements, and build huge cash flow and wealth without the hassle of tenants, all without credit and little or no money. You don't need a license or experience, and I'll show you exactly how it's done. Text FREE to 99799, and I'll send you my free training. I promise you I'll change the way you think about real estate and open the door to a new lifestyle that doesn't involve risk or rehabs and can quickly replace your current income. Text FREE to 99799, and let me show you how to take your life back and build cash flow and wealth from your home. That's FREE to 99799. Again, FREE to 99799.